Hey guys, Rev just posted a funny video. I'm gonna assume this game company that they're gonna be talking about, which I've already heard about the game behind me. It's Relooted, which it's an interesting premise behind the game. We'll get to that, but something tells me that these game studios are making something for the quote unquote modern audience again, and the modern audience is, if anything, not big enough to support what a good game costs, or they're not showing up. Because realistically, I think if game studios want to be massively profitable, it's really time you just go and you make the OG gamer happy with how the game is. Because something tells me that's a license to print money. Look at literally any other game that's massively successful that's not like, well, Call of Duty's flopped, but in general, most of these games that have been made for the quote unquote modern audience have flopped majorly. But hey, let's get on to that video. Please like, comment, subscribe. Last up my numbers. Make my numbers go boom. Please, please, please. Let's go. There's our Rev.
Attention on Twitter. It is one that is attempting to blame the current issues in gaming on anti-woke grifter YouTubers who care about things like appealing character designs. Yes, we're hearing that buzzword again.
Let's pause right there. Realistically, these big YouTubers don't control the gaming narrative. You know what? Who controls the gaming narrative? The mass population of people that buy video games. A YouTuber, they can tell you an opinion on a video game. Their opinion is valuable as that could very much possibly be, but realistically, they don't control the masses. Something tells me the masses don't like the games. And all they do is, these big YouTubers are just saying well, I can't really say quiet part out loud, because that's shown time and time again with these modern audience style video games. They've just not really worked. If you just really look at it, like, people have different opinions, but look at revenue. These quote unquote woke games don't work if you want to actually have massive profits. It's time you stop with this modern audience BS and just work with what's right, because this modern audience stuff does not work. It has not worked. If there is an instance of this modern audience stuff working, please show me. Please, please. I'm so open to it.
Grifter, it's another word that's lost all meaning, but I find it very ironic that this post was made yesterday, the same day Relooted was officially released, and we talked about it in yesterday's video, but this has been an absolute disaster of a launch, and it represents what's really wrong with the gaming industry right now. You have this game that is unappealing in its sort of foundation. It's unappealing with its character designs. And on top of that, it's been used as a purity test by games journalists and activists on Twitter, basically saying if you
okay, I'm gonna pause him right there. Let me guess. If you don't like this game, you're racist. If you don't like this game, you're bigoted. Let's see.
don't find this game appealing, you're a bigot. Whatever. And of course, it focuses on the modern audience who, once again, did not show up.
I called it.
Now, here is the thread we're looking at. I'll read through it in just a second, but basically you can see the names here. They're blaming these supposed anti-woke YouTube grifters for causing irreparable damage to gaming discussion. And this is quoting a thread talking about character designs. That's kind of the main focus here. They're mad at these YouTubers for wanting more appealing designs and more fun games. Wow, I can't believe it. I always go back to this thread whenever the discussion about...
Oh, wait. Should lead video game characters be widely considered attractive / aspirational by the vast majority of players? What's that 84% metric? Isn't that crazy? Only 2.5% people say no? And okay, let's thump the 2.5% with that 13.1. So we have a total of 15.6% of the gaming population that either doesn't care or it's a no. But yet 84% of them, yeah, something tells me if you want to make a massive profits, it's you. If anything, I know bending the knee. We say don't bend the knee to the woke mob because you know how crazy they are. They're absolutely ravenous. But something tells me you should make that 84% happy, and you'll make many gross millions of dollars. Like quite literally make many millions of dollars if you make that 84% happy.
Character designs and whether or not they're attractive or aspirational, appealing, whatever word you want to use. Because back in 2025, the creator of Lords of the Fallen made this poll asking people what they think, and after 11,000 votes, 84% of people chose yes, saying they want appealing character designs. Now, if you take this even in the most extreme, where you combine the people saying no, all 2.5% of them, with the people who don't care, if you want to ignore having appealing designs, you're left.
Have I watched too many Rev videos? I literally said just about the same thing. Oh my gosh.
With 15% of people. Okay? And I think it's very obvious from the original poster of the thread we're reading today. They seem to really like the design of the main protagonist for Naughty Dog's upcoming release, Intergalactic. And this is a great example of the poll we just saw. Man, would you look?
Ah, you're kidding. PlayStation, you're losing money. There goes your pennies.
Look at that. Having this as the face of your new game, and people really don't like it. They're not impressed. And then you see how it pans out in the trailer here in the reaction, with 100,000 likes versus 300,000 dislikes, which is actually a pretty close percentage to the poll we just saw. Go figure, am I right? But of course, who are the type of people making these threads? Well, bio checks out, and then you see their values, right? Yesterday, they also made another stunning and brave post saying that they're basically blocking anyone who posts anything to do with AI on Twitter. Like, they're fuming about that. But then in literally the previous tweets, they said in quotes, you laugh.
Wait. Oh, I was just going to make a comment of we're still talking about him now, February 10th. But again, I guess somebody did bring him up February 9th, so I guess my point is moot. Moving on.
When Charlie Kirk got assassinated, end quote. Yeah, and I don't feel bad for it.
Yeah, you're
so
trash
this is
person.
the modern audience who is very angry at these supposed grifters,
garbage,
and they want all this empathy and all this stuff, and this is their values. It's very, well, not surprising at all. But let's go back to the thread. Let's read through it. Critical Drinker, Asmongold, Nerdrotic, Grums, and these anti-woke YouTube grifters have done irreparable damage to gaming discussion. We could be talking about level design, environment, game mechanics, and stuff that's actually about, games, but no, it's stuff like this, referring to a debate about...
I'm just saying, like, screw your feelings, but characters, last I checked, characters are a part of video games. Something tells me you don't know much.
Characters being appealing or not in their designs. And
I just freaking I just read what Senator XK just said. What's up with that big monkey nose? That is insane.
Let's start off here, okay? The top. The anti-woke YouTube grifters. Can you please explain to me how these people are grifters? How are any of these people...
And also, this stupid grifter narrative, it's always... Grifters always been attached to people that are conservative. Oh, you're a conservative grifter. If they knew the definition of grifter, these people wouldn't fit in it because they actually believe it. Grifter is somebody who takes action, constantly takes action in small-scale swindling. If somebody's preaching conservative values and saying they believe in conservative values and actually believes in them, nobody here's being swindled. It's the truth. It's what they believe in. But now, if they didn't believe in those values and then preach them anyway, that would be grifting. But common sense doesn't exist in this world now, and it's kind of sad.
People lying about their beliefs for some sort of monetary gain. Maybe these people have a lot of supports because their opinions on gaming, including character designs, represent the majority of people. I know Twitter can get
Exactly.
confusing because posts will go viral, typically getting botted, saying the opposite of what we're talking about here. But no, the proof is here. That's why people like these men.
The proof is literally in the money that they get. Who gets more money, the woke games or the non-woke? I'm not going to say anti-woke games because I don't think that exists. But who gets more money, the woke games or the non-woke games? Something tells me it's the non-woke games. Just saying. Like, if you say otherwise, you got to be some sort of crazy.
Mentioned here get a lot of supports, and down here,
Cough, cough, cough. High guard. What happened to high guard? Oh wait, it flopped. Holy crap! How crazy!
this is crazy because a lot of the posts calling out people and raising issues in the gaming scene and among YouTubers who talk about that stuff, they really typically want to be disingenuous with their points, right? They don't really have a point, so they're just being disingenuous, or they're fighting straw man arguments or something like that. But here, this is the next level. This is gaslighting. They are literally telling everyone, including those watching this video, that what you've experienced and what you have witnessed over the past 10 plus years in the gaming industry didn't actually happen the way you think it did. It was actually all the faults of people like Critical Drinker, Asmongold, Nerdrotic, and Grums, and other and
Yes, it's their fault that high guard failed. It's totally their fault that high guard was such a flop on launch that it's dead right now, by the way.
anti-woke YouTube grifters. It's all their faults. Now, of course, that's ridiculous. People who are criticizing what's going on in the industry were reacting to what the industry and anything associated with it was already doing. So this part about we could be talking about level design, environment, game mechanics, stuff that's actually about the game. Yeah, I hope so too. I would really like a return to that one day. That'd be pretty neat. But we have seen for over a decade, whether it's through like feminist frequency and Anita Sarkeesian or those sorts of people who started the whole Gamergate situation, this has been something in motion for a very long time. We know how insufferable games journalists can be. We know how insufferable activists are on Twitter.
Let alone how some games journalists can't play video games. Well, I can't say can't. Don't know how to. Like, I forgot when. I don't know if it was Rev that did a video on it or who, but there's a games journalist that was, incessantly bitching about a video game and how bad it was. But, they sucked at video games. Something tells me they shouldn't be a games journalist that, reviews video games if they suck at video games. But again, there's my common sense coming through. My common sense is an insult to most people, I know.
And that's who, unfortunately, a lot of industry designers and devs, they're listening to those people, and that's the big mistake. But let's see some of the reaction to this. It's okay to hate atrocious character designs. Very true. Translation, they showed up, criticized us, normal people agreed with them, and we lost our social traction. So they're grifters, because that's a word I've seen used negatively. I am very smart. Correct. It's exactly how their brain works when they're making these posts. Oh no, people like beautiful things. People have always talked about looks of characters in movies, games,
Exactly.
every art medium, but for some reason you're here coping and seething. That's the thing too. Like, if you want to have whatever character design that's not traditional or unappealing, whatever, you'll find something. But why are you so against it? Like, what is it about having appealing designs that just makes people so angry? I don't know. Maybe it's a psychological thing. Who knows at this point?
People
Here's
people
another
are
one
just
saying, I
crazy. It's
disagree.
that easy.
Game companies themselves did the damage with the choices they made and the instance of calling all criticism, including valid ones, as being a form of bigotry or ism.
Yes.
Very true. Pains me someone will come to this post and still defend them or continue saying the same crap. Well, people like myself come here because you're making claims, this OP's making claims about people being grifters and that they're the ones who have completely ruined gaming discussion, but they offer no proof. And then they try to gaslight you and tell you what you saw and what you experienced with the gaming industry. Oh, it's actually the other way around. Like, it's so obvious that they're lying here and they're gaslighting. But in response to that, they say, oh, we got one already, referring to someone defending the people in the post. And it says, maybe those people shouldn't have talked about exactly the same effing thing for 16 years then. There wouldn't be an anti-woke side if the woke side didn't start this BS. Yeah, you're posting bangers. This person makes a good point. You're showing this like it's like a hall of shame for this person, but no, this is the only positive reception this OP has gotten on anything because, well, they shared a good take, unlike theirs. But it goes on, and this whole thread, by the way, has 20,000 likes. 20,000 likes, around 1 million views, and I think there's maybe like 1% of the replies agreeing with them, and the rest, in terms of quotes, are almost all negative. Like, this is the most artificial stuff I've ever seen. But let's read a couple more. Some of the quotes here from Grums, who was called out in this post, saying, "You mess with games for a decade. You demand all games change to meet your political views. You fire devs that don't agree and blacklist them. You cancel and dox everyone who dares to disagree. You lead a campaign of fear and ruin lives. We push back. We're winning." Here's another one saying, yeah, this person really tried to blame YouTubers for this when these women were ground zero. I mean, literally, we had people like Zoe Quinn and Anita Sarkeesian speaking in front of the UN. Like, this is one of those times you could say, yeah, I think grifter.
I'm sorry, a political activist that pisses and moans about games not being their political way, talking in front of the UN, that sounds like complete hubris. So stupid. Oh my gosh.
Is appropriate here. All they did was farm outrage and say whatever it took to get them the most power and money. That sounds a lot more like grifting than these YouTubers who were mentioned. But anyways, let's see here. Here's the thing, though. The anti-woke grifters aren't the ones making modern Western games. The types of people here below are the ones making them, and they prioritize politics and personal bias over the very things you say gamers should talk about. And it's funny. Thanks for jogging my memory here. Some people have noticed that a Sweet Baby Inc. employee, Chris Kindred, just said on Twitter that they helped make Relooted. Another kiss of death from a Sweet Baby Inc. involved project. Amazing stuff. But, oh yeah, and I forgot, there's another reference to Charlie Kirk's assassination. The OP posted this literally, like, within 24 hours of it happening. Like, we know what they meant by this post. Crazy stuff. You can create a game with perfect level design, soundtrack, story, environment, gameplay mechanics, but at the end of the day, no one wants to play as an ugly character. Yeah, people might not like to hear that last part, but that's how it plays.
I mean, that's a big thing with, like, hey, VR chat. A lot of normies that have found my videos either on my other channel, WeswesO-VT, please follow, or here that have come through, have really questioned why I'm apparently a male using a female avatar. Well, I played VR chat in the great pandemic of 2020. Guess what I chose as an avatar? Something that looked cute. Did I choose some grizzled man? No. I chose a cute, thick e-girl. Like this one. It's very, this my current VTubing model looks kind of close to my OG avatars. Like, damn, that looks good. But again, it's because it looks good. I wanted to use it. It looked cute. So hey, look what I'm using now. My model looks cute. I use it. It's great.
Moving on. It's not that this always happens, but it happens a lot. And it's been happening for years, despite people saying, oh, that's not, no, guys, wait for the Game Pass results. Steam DB doesn't reflect actual numbers or whatever. Like the amount of excuses or, oh, guys, player count is a good metric for how many sales, not actual copies sold and things like that. But yeah, we've seen this sort of dynamic play out over and over again. But of course, the original poster is getting dunked on some more. This was at 15 likes last night. And then people are like, that was before you decided to purchase bots. It was like at 15 before I entered my payment info and purchase likes. You know, I'll give this person a break. I have a theory. Hang in there, okay? Nothing these days seems like a tinfoil hat conspiracy. But I think there are people out there botting things that other people are posting that reflect their own interests or their agenda. I think that happens a lot too. The actual original poster isn't doing it; someone else is, and it leads to funny results. But they also added another reply saying, "I want to personally thank everyone who took time out of their calendar to comment all these wonderful things on the most random tweet ever. I know who to block now. Good day." Yes, well,
I know who to block now. The people that disagree with me. I can't handle disagreement. Essentially.
that was a good conversation, very productive. And I have to thank you for the free content as per usual. Twitter's always coming in clutch with the latest takes whining about YouTubers, gaming, and people just having common sense. That's kind of the denominator in all of this. But anyways, that's going to do it for today's video. As always, feel free to share your...
Thank you, Rev. But again, really, I see it all too much. A quote-unquote woke game comes out. Mind you, I don't buy it because, like, more often than not, it's not a game I'm interested in. But they spend all this money developing this game, and then it flops. Another game studio comes out with another woke game, and it flops. How many times are you going to be doing this? All you're doing is pissing money away. Actually. When are they going to realize, I want money. Time to make the 84% happy. Screw the 15%. Maybe what you do, I know it's a crazy idea. If you had another hero shooter, let's just say that's a thing. Have your cover characters be the ooga booga beautiful characters. And then you have choices for other characters that the quote-unquote woke people would like. Oh my gosh. Something tells me both the woke and the non-woke people would buy that game. And then, the woke people be like, oh my gosh, there's a character in this game that I like. I'm gonna use it. You get the marketing of the 84%. The 84% buy your game, enjoy it. And then you can just put in what that 15% may want. That could work. Something tells me that should be happening like 10 years ago. But that being said, please, if you guys would like, comment, subscribe. If you somehow got to this point in the video, please, it would help out a lot. I am really trying at this YouTube thing. My long story short, mom, sister, they're in a lot of debt. My job currently sucks, and I'm really trying hard at this to get this to work. So please like, comment, subscribe. It will all help me quite greatly. I would very much like to wipe their debts away. That's what I'm trying with here. I'll see you guys next time. Everybody stay warm, stay safe. Those of you on the East Coast, at the very least, 6 more weeks of winter. Well, I should say up north of the US. 6 more weeks of winter. Warm weather is coming. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.